This is the self-publishing news for November the 15th, 2021, and it hasn't been a very active week, but I did find some great news pieces to show you. And by the way, it's the holiday season, folks, and why not treat yourself to a small gift of the Amazon Self-Publisher? It's available on every major retail platform. You can see it's all here. All you got to do is go over to dalelinks.com/selfpubbook to get yourself a copy today. Let me know if you already got that and what were your thoughts about the publication. It's got 3 different publications in it, so a lot to do. All right, let's get into the very first item in the news today. It comes from the aggregate publisher Streetlib. Now, I've covered Streetlib before, but what I really find very good about this platform is how they communicate with the people that are publishing to their platform. Now, here's the funny thing is I just have an account open there. I've never published anything with them just yet. And they're sharing some great promotional opportunities for those that are actually published through them. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's now possible to submit 1 or more ebooks from your catalog to the IBS promo of December 2021 and January 2022. For the month of December, the IBS program includes standard month, home, hobbies and cooking, mystery, thrillers and horror, more free books, literature classics, promo weekend, and Streetlib low prices. And the next promotions for January is standard month, health, family, and personal well-being. Start the year with an ebook, erotic literature. Yep, those of you in the erotica niche can be able to push something through Streetlib. And Streetlib low prices. What are the advantages and why participate in this type of promo? The stores work very well in the visibility of their promotions through newsletters, app push notifications, banners, and messages on the homepage. Thanks to promos, your brand can also benefit from this visibility. You can reach and gain popularity with new readers, and the inclusion of some titles in the promos implies an increase in turnover, which usually concerns the entire catalog and not the discounted item. Joining the promos is free. You'll be able to monitor the progress of the campaign and evaluate the results through the analytics section of your account. And it goes into depth about the do's and don'ts. But rather than bloviate about it, what I would just recommend is if you're interested in something like that, go over to streetlib.com and get yourself signed up with a free account. To my knowledge, I believe Streetlib is there might be like a one-time setup fee for doing print on demand, but for things like ebooks, I don't think there was a setup fee. I did a full featured video and podcast about them before, but give that a look. It's definitely something worth considering. Now, here's a great news piece from the gang over at the Alliance of Independent Authors, and this is by John Doppler. Is that publisher email legitimate? I can't tell you how many emails, direct messages, and even tags on social media someone says, oh, such and such publisher just reached out to me and they're interested in signing me. John puts it in a very, very good way here. If you go to selfpublishingadvice.org, publisher-email-legitimate, you actually will be able to get a little bit of the insights about why you should be leery about things like this. Successful publishers are not searching for your book, okay? Right from the go, be aware that legitimate publishers do not trawl authors' email and blogs for submissions. A successful publisher will have more submissions than they can handle, especially a well-known traditional publisher. That's not to say that you might be the exception to the rule, that some reason Simon & Schuster reaches out to you because they see you making noise. If you're at that point, chances are very likely you're selling a lot. You've got a very good reach online through social media, through your website, things like that. But 99.9999999% of the time, TradPub, they're not going to be reaching out to you. And a successful publishing company is most likely not going to be reaching out to you. So it's the reality of the situation. So John goes a little bit further in depth. Has this company been documented? All right. Are there any kind of services or service ratings for them? So the one place I recommend you go look to, and this is what John Doppler is in charge of, it's called the Ally Watchdog Service. Now, the Watchdog Service essentially functions on behalf of indie authors where they vet specific services and companies to see that it aligns with their code of ethics. Now, you might say to yourself, well, could it be as simple as someone going ahead and paying them off and getting placement? I can assure you that's not the case, because there's some companies I'm sure would be willing to pay top dollar to get themselves an excellent rating, but Ally can't be bought. The next thing you want to look into is who's sending the email. All right, take a look. I mean, do they have a legit email, or is it coming from some random Yahoo or Gmail account, or heaven forbid Hotmail or AOL? You will find in most instances that if a legit publisher is going to be reaching out to you, it's going to have a professional email, not some free email service provider stuff. All right, it's going to actually be pro. And if they're sending it out from something like that, shame on them. I would probably run away anyways. Watch that language. Take note of grammatical and spelling errors inside this email. This is going to be huge. Like, I can't tell you how many times people have forwarded an email that they got from some would-be publisher, but it's riddled with mistakes and errors and punctuation issues. Do you really think that they have your best interests at heart if they can't take the time to go through and at least proofread their email before they're soliciting their business? Because at the end of the day, you're technically one of their customers. And if they couldn't be bothered to do that, makes you kind of wonder. And last note that John puts in here, skepticism is essential. All right? You've got to protect yourself. You know, this is a crazy world out here, and scammers are getting smarter by the day. So go into it the skeptical mind, and even if you see your favorite YouTuber or content provider or somebody within the self-publishing industry where they say, I give my wholehearted endorsement on this, still question it. Still question it and go in and check for yourself. You have to be your own advocate. I can be your advocate till the cows come home, but ultimately you're going to know what's going to work for you. So always treat everything with some type of skepticism. Hey folks, I've been really big about pushing this particular platform, Reedsy.com. I've actually done a guest blog post with them over on my website, and I've used their service, including Reedsy Discovery, for getting reviews on my book. It has been a wonderful service, but Reedsy is a 100% free website. You can go ahead and take a look at all their stuff. But a really great piece came in the mail. Now, all you have to do is just go in and just get yourself signed up, and you'll get a weekly email from Ricardo Fayette. Now, Ricardo just gives excellent emails. I cannot stress to you how much I learn in every single one of these emails. And one of the things he brings up is, how does Amazon advertising attribute sales? And let me just summarize what Ricardo talks about in Amazon advertising. A lot of people will go into Amazon advertising and think they're going to get immediate results. But herein lies the problem. When someone clicks on your ad, let's say they don't buy anything at first. Great. You're going to have to pay for that CPC, that cost per click, if you will. But Amazon's quietly following them over the next 2 weeks to see if they come back and purchase that book or any books under your brand. All right, so you're saying, okay, it can probably take up to 2 weeks. Here comes the real dicey part. Going into Q4, as I'd warned in previous news segments and podcasts, that there is a supply chain disruption. That right now we're going through a very weird time. Paper is becoming a little bit more scarce. The options are becoming more scarce. That means that things like print-on-demand books are taking longer to ship out, sometimes upwards of 10 days before it's fulfilled. So someone can go in, click on your ad within that 14-day time limit, and then you got to wait an additional 10 days beyond before you actually see that sale pop up inside your dashboard or inside your Amazon dashboard, ads dashboard, and the KDP dashboard. So with that being said, Ricardo offers something very practical, which is patience. Sometimes you've got to be patient when you're doing Amazon advertising. Highly recommend. Go take a look at reedsy.com. That's Reedsy. I've not been paid to say this. I'm just a fan of theirs, honestly. All right, going further forward here, IngramSpark, despite having some issues and problems over the past year, they've actually been forward-thinking in that they've included a new type of paper. I had shared this on a previous broadcast. This is groundwood eggshell paper. It's a bit more accessible. So in the event that you want your books being fulfilled a lot quicker, choosing the groundwood eggshell paper might be an option. Now, to me, I probably wouldn't pull the trigger on something like this until I had a proof copy, and IngramSpark is notorious for being really, really delayed in fulfilling any kind of proof orders. But the thing that they had shared was something that you should pay attention to, which is holiday sales. They're here. If you want to make updates on your titles, you should have done it like yesterday. The next best day, right now. Because if you're looking at doing some deep discounts on your backlog of books in order to bolster sales in the holiday season, you want to be on top of it. You want to go double check all of your book descriptions and your ad copy to make sure it's all dialed in and it's ready to rock and roll. Get that stuff up as soon as humanly possible. All right, next item up in the news comes from the gang over at lulu.com, and they express everything I've always said, why you should sell more than your books. Okay, folks, I totally get it. If you're a writer and your heart is in the craft of writing books, you're like, this is my only focus. But if you're the type of person that's struggling to make ends meet, you may want to consider expanding your offering beyond just this single book, which we're going to be recording a podcast today about this. And as you probably watch this on the replay on a Wednesday, you probably already missed it, but I'll be talking about author sales funnels for beginners. Now, sales funnel is just one small thing, but Lulu goes in depth about getting merch, about, selling more than that, diversifying your merchandise, work in the merchandise. Go over to blog.lulu.com and you'll find the post, why you should sell more than books. Great piece. Big shout out to the gang on over there at Lulu. You guys are the best. I appreciate it. All righty. Next item up in the news. Okay, I got two of these from my Google alerts here. The Cult of Mac. It's a fairly popular site here. Actually put out a piece called How to Publish an eBook on Apple Books with Pages. So those of you out there that are Mac owners and want to know how to do it, this is a great step-by-step tutorial. I went through it and it's way easier than it used to be. It was just a real mess back in the day. But you can see they've got screen grabs. This is a really great tutorial. The funny thing is, you'll find some of these would-be overnight experts out there that are putting out designer courses, paying, getting you to pay top dollar to learn this type of stuff. Whereas the Cult of Mac was like, we got you 100% of the way. It is a great piece. Highly recommend you go ahead and take a look at it. And last but not least, I have been sharing time and time again about how important local libraries are, and especially if you're an author that's really struggling to make ends meet or to even get yourself out there in front of the public. Well, local libraries are definitely the option. In fact, there's a library launching Indie Author Days. This is from the Laughlin Library, actually. This is coming from a piece at Mojave Valley Daily News. The Laughlin Library is calling all writers, authors, poets, and graphic novelists to join in the inaugural Indie Author Days on November 12th and 13th. Indie Author Days offer a weekend of live stream events at 2 library branches, plus contest announcements and the freshest book titles from up-and-coming independent authors. The library district is partnering with national self-publishing platform BiblioBoard to promote local independent authors through this unique competition. This is the part where you have to pay closest attention to. The 2021 national winner received $2,500 in an interview in the Library Journal, and the 2 winners from each region received $500. What? Can I just move there? That sounds fantastic. $2,500 just for doing what you already do and getting even more exposure. So what I would recommend Probably the best practical steps for you to do. If you're not in the Mojave Valley, area, fantastic. That's all right. What you just need to do is get a list of all of the libraries in your local area and just stop in and introduce yourself and explain to them your situation. I watched this crazy bald YouTuber that told me that reaching out to my local library is a great idea. I just wanted to introduce myself. Here are my books that I have. I would love to have the opportunity to sit down with you and see if there's any opportunities for indie authors like myself and to collaborate with this library. Make it super simple. Throw me under the bus. That's fine. Just say, hey, Dale L. Roberts, this bald head guy over on YouTube told me this is probably a good avenue to do it. Do it. Either way, take action. Especially if you're the type of person that's working on a fixed budget, one of the easiest ways is just go to the local library. It's not that far for you. You could pop on in there. Hopefully you already have some print books on hand or some ebooks that you can share with them. And it would just be a great addition to your network. That was the news for this week. What did you think? What piece of news did you find most noteworthy? And did I miss a particular piece of news over the past week? I'd love to hear from you.